morning's plan is to use the interval timers on the LX100 Mark II and the D850 to capture some clones. And actually that just means cloning me. I don't know why I want to do that, but it's just to illustrate the layer masking in Photoshop, and also the use of the interval timers on both of these two cameras. We're going to shoot at about 24mm and then also at 50mm, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, well, we've got the images into Lightroom, and I've marked the ones which I want to work on with a yellow tag. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to filter to the yellow. So if we just do that, filter to the yellow, and then I'm going to select all of these images. You just go Apple All or Control A, and okay, selected them all. Now I'm just going to go Photo, Edit in, and Open as Layers in Photoshop, and we'll just give it a few minutes to work, and it should bring these images into Photoshop, just the ones which I've selected there as layers. And there we go. So we've got them all open as layers in Photoshop. Now it's quite easy just to toggle one's way through them by turning on and off, selecting the images which you want to see. And all I'm going to do now is apply a layer mask to, I'll just go ahead and apply a layer mask to each of these images, because I'm going to need a mask on each of them. And now there's a couple of ways of doing this. The way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to basically paint myself out of the top layer, and then I'll invert the mask. Now the mask is white at the moment, which means that it reveals everything, and if that was black there, it would conceal it or become transparent. So I'll just click over here and select the black. I'm on the brush tool, and I just select black brush. You can toggle between black and white. I need black so that I can paint black onto this layer mask over here. I've selected the layer mask, so I'm not painting on the actual layer, I'm on the mask. So it's non-destructive as long as I'm on the mask. And I'm just going to go and paint through the part of the image which I actually intend, the only part that I actually intend to keep, but at the moment I'm just making this part invisible on the layer mask, because once I've done that, I'm going to actually do a trick and invert the mask, and I think that is probably sufficiently erased. So now if I go Command I or Apple key I, or on Windows it would be Control I, just to invert that mask, all that's happened is we've brought back and we've made everything else hidden. So that means that we can now see through to the image underneath. And now all I do is I just toggle off this image, click onto the mask that I added to the second image, and then I'll just go and repeat the process. So I'm just going to go and paint through there, just careful to kind of just do what I need to do, and then just go Control I, and yeah, now we're ready to repeat the process again. So we're just going to quickly go and just paint through, paint them out. It's just a clone anyway. Just paint out that fellow, Control I, and we just keep on running down here. Get rid of them. Make the brush smaller. That's the left bracket key, just to make the brush a little bit smaller so we can be a little bit more precise. And let me take that one out. Let's go Control I, which allows us to see through to the bottom layer, and there we have it. So now I just I can just toggle them in and out. There's nothing really. I haven't overpainted any of these. If I had, it would be quite quick to just tidy up. You could just go, for example, onto this one over here, and now that it's inverted, if I were to start painting here, I'd be painting through. I can just change the color and fix that up, tidy that up, which basically means that even once you've inverted the mask, you can just invert the color and fix up any mistakes. But I'm pretty happy with what we have there. So now we'll just quit out of Photoshop CC and let it save, and it should save the document, and we'll bring it back into Lightroom. Okay, now we are back into Lightroom, and you can see that the edited image has come into Lightroom in the same folder with the same yellow tag as a TIF file. And all that we do now is we can just do some basic finishing, and I'm not going to do anything too fancy here. Just maybe try and choose a crop. Maybe this one can go square for an Instagram. We just level it up a little bit. The camera wasn't perfectly straight, but that's okay. We can just maybe crop it like that. And really, this is just to taste. I'm going to desaturate it a little bit. I might apply a little bit of a. It was actually a fantastic, completely overcast morning, so there's no shadows or no significant shadows. It's actually perfect light for playing this kind of game. And we just might make this one a little more extreme. Hold down the Option key just to see where it begins to overexpose, and we'll just drag down. Get maybe a black point as well. Actually, we don't really need to push this too much. We're just going to do it to taste. Just increase the clarity a little bit. This is not the way I would normally process an image, but this is not an everyday landscape photograph. This is something that I'm really just doing to illustrate how to make some clones. And I think we make it nice and contrasty, and I still feel like it's actually a little slightly underexposed. We don't want it too underexposed. We can just pull that up, but at the same time I don't want it too flat. I want it to be quite an edgy image. So there we go. We've got some clones, and this one here seems to be saying, "Come, follow me towards the light." So anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully you get something out of it. If you like it, why not just give it a like? If you want to see more, maybe subscribe. Maybe I'll make some more. But anyway, have a good one.